Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is investigating a possible murder-suicide in Venice.
It happened at a home on High Point Drive. It was initially believed to be a murder, and authorities began looking for a suspect. But investigators now suspect a murder-suicide.
You know, it's early in the investigation, but all signs point to these two individuals being in a relationship. They both do reside at this home, so we do believe that it's domestic in nature.
The medical examiner's office was on the scene and will determine the cause of death. No names have been released.
Manatee County's bus driver shortage is beginning to have an impact on riders. Earlier this week, dozens of passengers scheduled rides through MCAT's Handy Bus system had to be canceled due to high demand. Some of the passengers say they were scheduled to go to medical appointments and had to find alternative transportation.
So they told me Friday that Monday I wouldn't be able to be picked up. Wednesday I wouldn't be able to be picked up, and Thursday I wouldn't be able to pick you up. But I don't want to go backwards, you know, and be a burden to everybody. And I was just really afraid of losing one or both my feet.
County officials say they've hired 2 new drivers to help alleviate the demand. Many of the canceled rides have now been rescheduled.
A no swim advisory has been lifted at Siesta and Longboat Key beaches. The Department of Health issued the advisory for those beaches, along with several others in Sarasota County. The advisory is still in place for Turtle, Nokomis, and North Jetty beaches. This comes after unsafe levels of bacteria were found on the beaches. That bacteria can come from a variety of sources, including pet and human waste, as well as stormwater runoff. It could have to do with the hot conditions over the summer as well.
We've had kind of a wet summer. We've had a tropical storm that came through earlier in the month. All of that runoff contributes to the levels of bacteria in the Gulf of Mexico and along the coast.
The beaches are still open, but health officials advise against going into the water and eating shellfish from these waters until the advisory is lifted for Turtle, Nokomis, and North Jetty beaches.
Well, along with the sketchy beach weather there and sort of conditions at the beaches, we've got a growing and a hurricane that is getting even more stronger. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now.
What's incredible about this storm is that yesterday it was a Category 1, today a Category 4. In less than 24 hours, it has gone from a Category 1 to a major hurricane now with winds at 140 miles an hour, despite the sheer and dry air that was to the west of it. So the intensity of the storm, they've gusts up now to 165 miles an hour around the center. You can see the center is quite clearly defined with a well-defined eye, and it is possible that this could get to Category 5 status in the next 12 hours. There it is, 140 mile an hour winds, and the pressure has been dropping significantly over the past 24 hours. It's down to 949 millibars. Jamaica is under a hurricane watch right now. Tropical storm warning in effect for parts of Haiti. Here's the forecast path and track, and the thinking it'll continue to dig to the southwest just for a little bit, and then the western edge of that high pressure will draw it northward to the eastern tip of Jamaica, and then eventually to East Cuba. Now, there's quite a spread still in day 4 and 5, and now it has shifted a little bit to the left. Florida now is in that cone of uncertainty, at least the southeastern portion of the state, and the error of miles as far as where the center may be in 5 days is typically about 230 miles away. So again, that means Florida is not out of the zone quite yet. We'll have to wait and see on the successive runs, but it is a massive storm now and only getting bigger and stronger, and still has some warm air and warm water to go through before it starts to head off to the north. Now, as far as we're concerned, we are not looking at any of these lines coming through us for the most part. They're staying to the east of the state. We'll keep a close watch on them, however. And as far as football Friday night goes, here locally, it looks pretty good right now. There's just a few showers, mainly inland. We'll have more in the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Increased police presence on campus today at Manatee High School. Protests erupted at the school Thursday after a student brought the Confederate flag to school for Spirit Week.
School administration warning students they would face discipline if their actions continued. ABC 7's Kate Flexter joins us live from Manatee High, where this whole thing unfolded. Kate.
Good evening, Haley and Scott. Superintendent Diana Green sent out a robocall last night threatening to cancel homecoming events if these disruptions continue. But we just got word from the school district, and it looks like all of those events are still on. It all started with this picture posted to social media featuring a Confederate flag at Manatee High School Spirit Week. District officials say the student voluntarily turned in the flag upon the principal's request. But the photo sparked a Black Lives Matter movement the next day, students wearing black in solidarity.
I honestly didn't think we would have so many people be willing to participate and step up and, voice how they feel as well.
Behind the movement was Zaria Covington. She says she's watched the Black Lives Matter movement across the country, but it wasn't until now that she felt the need to get involved.
I always tune in to what happens around the world, especially in the United States, because a lot of killings and murders are going on, and this really just made me so much more passionate about this situation.
After the protest, Superintendent Diana Green sending a robocall to parents and students, threatening to cancel any homecoming festivities if these disruptions continue, adding we can no longer afford to lose valuable educational time dealing with these issues.
Homecoming weeks in and of themselves are distracting. When you add all of this into it, it's extremely distracting. So what we want to do is help our students get back to the business of going to class and learning.
School district spokesperson Mike Barber said canceling homecoming didn't end up being necessary, but says it's a good example of how quickly things on social media can get out of hand.
There's been no problems inside the walls of our schools in terms of any kind of violence or any kind of, threats. All of that is taking place on social media.
For Covington, this is just the beginning. She's planning other peaceful demonstrations with her classmates, all part of joining the larger national movement.
And now that this is taking place at my own school and in my community, it is very important, and we need to, get together and talk about these things, because if we don't talk about them and try to come up with ways to make a change, it's the same things are going to keep on happening, and it's going to get worse.
As you just heard Covington say, they have other protests planned, the first of which is going to be this Sunday. Live in Manatee County, Kate Flexter, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Kate, thank you. No resolution yet for an FPL solar array built in the wrong spot in Venice. FPL hired a contractor who built the solar panel-covered parking canopy in the wrong spot at the Venice Community Center parking lot. Now, as city leaders decide what to do next, there are some questions about how city council members are handling the situation. FPL representatives have asked to meet with those council members individually outside of a normal public meeting. Something not unheard of, but something that is bothering some residents.
That's the kind of thing that could lead to funny business, and it makes people, taxpayers and voters, nervous.
When you're in an elected position, you're always in a no-win proposition. Somebody is always going to assume the worst. Somebody's going to assume that everything is okay.
FPL officials say they only want to hear ideas from council members, and these meetings are meant to reach a resolution quickly.
Bradenton Beach is looking for financial help to replace a dock damaged during Tropical Storm Colin. The mayor would like to replace the damaged dock with a parallel one to better serve future water taxis. Mayor Bill Sharon is requesting $250,000 from the Manatee County Tourist Development Council. It's part of an equal opportunity partnership with the council. The proposal will be added to TBC's agenda and will be discussed at the next meeting on October 18th. Kids have another area to play and cool down. The Bradenton Riverwalk splash pad has now reopened. The Public Works Department removed the barricades around the splash pad this morning. It closed at the end of August so that the padding could be replaced. The splash pad is under warranty, so the repairs do not cost anything to the city. But kids are loving it.
Especially when it's still in the 90s.
You need it.
Late September.
Right.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, a deadly train crash in New Jersey. Investigators remain puzzled, still trying to determine what caused this crash.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, new hope for patients with type 1 diabetes, the device that's considered an artificial pancreas.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom. the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419 or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
An investigation is well underway now into that deadly train crash in New Jersey. NTSB investigators are gathering evidence from the wreckage and are speaking with the engineer and other staff aboard the train. ABC's Ray Ramundi is outside the train station with the latest.
One of the 2 data recorders from the train recovered overnight by the NTSB as they attempt to get one step closer to answering why. At the center of the investigation, 48-year-old train engineer Thomas Gallagher.
We'll be checking records, maintenance records, employee records.
Investigators also want to get that second data recorder located in the front car. 2 video recorders are also located there, but a destroyed canopy and mountains of debris is making it difficult for investigators to reach. That rush hour horror happening right in the heart of the morning commute. The hundreds injured, that one bystander on the platform who died. Today we learn more about 34-year-old Fabiola Batard de Kroon, who just dropped off her baby girl at daycare minutes before she rushed to catch her train.
She said she was in a rush. She went to the train, and so in a way I blame myself because I talk a lot and I could have spoke to her about other things.
And amid the tragedy, the story of a hero comes to light. Ramon Perkins ran into the station when others frantically tried to escape and rushed to de Kroon's side during her last moments of life.
I was like, miss, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna let you, if you're gonna die, you're not gonna die by yourself right now.
Tributes and prayers keep pouring in for Fabiola Batard de Kroon. In the meantime, NTSB investigators will remain here at the crash site through next week. Ray Ramundi, ABC News, Hoboken, New Jersey.
Flooding continues to be a concern in Virginia. Residents and workers are trying to cope with the rising waters in Alexandria. Police shut down traffic on flooded roads. Homes and businesses are scrambling for sandbags in an effort to try to save their property.
The water level is just right through here. The highest is right through here. The water's high, obviously.
A coastal flood advisory issued by the National Weather Service remains in effect for that area. Flooding is expected to continue in the streets of Old Town during high tide.
Of course, our eyes are focused on the tropics and
right,
rapidly Strengthening Hurricane Matthew. This is pretty incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, dangerous storm, obviously. You know, when you go from a Category 1 to a 4 in less than 24 hours, it just shows you that as far as predicting the intensity of these storms, it's difficult. And to say the least, you know, yesterday and last night at 11 o'clock, they were talking about the shear and the dry air, and it's probably, but then it just blew that away and actually developed a very significant eye now. It's about 15 miles in diameter. It has the hurricane force winds at 140 miles an hour sustained right now, with gusts up to 165. And it is getting better organized, too, it appears. The tropical storm force winds, get an idea how big this is, extend 170 miles out from the center. So it is a huge storm, and it's only getting bigger as it's moving over some very warm water. Now, one thing it will do, and it will be beneficial for our red tide, which the report just came in. We'll have more on that in a little bit. But east winds now will be the rule, as opposed to the last few days that we had that westerly onshore flow for most of the day, bringing the harmful impacts right into the coast. Now, there's still going to be a little bit of a west wind developing later in the afternoon, but it won't have much chance to really get going. This is Saturday at 3 o'clock, a little bit of a west wind, maybe 2-3 miles an hour at times, and then it'll quickly change over to an easterly wind on Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday, as Matthew tracks up to the north. Now, as far as the Van Wezel webcam goes, a pretty nice night expected as a result of some drier air that did slip in now into the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. There will be a few scattered storms around this evening, but most games should be okay. Maybe one or two could get a brief shower or two. Most of the rain now in the interior portions of our viewing area. You can see that quite clearly. There are still a few showers out here in the Gulf of Mexico what to keep an eye on. You can see this activity approaching and moving toward Venice and Inglewood and eventually Northport. So that's that chance I mentioned. There's still a chance for a few isolated showers around. There's not much going on now in Manatee County or in North Sarasota County. One lone shower well offshore. So we'll keep that rain chance at around 20% through this evening. And then we'll start to see a transition. I mentioned that dry air and this trough of low pressure. Thankfully, this trough is in place here. If it was not in place, the high pressure that's driving the storm, Matthew, would expand to the west, and then that would put the Gulf of Mexico in play. But right now it isn't, as this trough is continuing to dig. But it is going to exit off to the east over the next 48 hours, and it will leave behind a little bit of a trough, and that will, again, looks like spare us as far as the storm goes. We'll have to keep an eye on it, though. There's still some question to that. 88 degrees right now, sunshine, a few high clouds around, and a few isolated cells developing. 74 on the dew point. Temperature pretty warm right now across Jacksonville, Orlando, and into Sarasota. It's 88 degrees, 83 in Miami, and 90 now in Mayaca City. Well, water temperature, 87 degrees, 85 in Inglewood, and Arcadia at 87, Bradenton, you're at 87 degrees. And the heat index, pretty warm right near the coast and not as bad as you push inland areas, but still very warm out there. We mentioned that frontal boundary, at least that trough. You can see it kind of extending all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. And that trough will stick around at least through tonight, and then eventually high pressure building back in over the northern portion of the state. Well, once again, this is a major Category 4 storm, rapid intensification, picked up winds in less than 24 hours up to 55 knots, and that's about 65 mile an hour increase in winds, and 140 mile an hour winds moving to the west-southwest and eventually expected to turn to the north. Jamaica, the eastern tip of Cuba, the central and northern Bahamas expected to see a pretty strong storm, even though it will lose some of its strength, we think, over parts of eastern Cuba. I still think it could get to Category 5 status before it starts to make its run to the north. And you can see the timing of it. That's Wednesday, the 5th day, will be just to the east of the state of Florida, east of Fort Lauderdale. Here's some forecast models again. Staying away from us right now, most of them running east of the state, but there is an error of about 230 miles from the center of that cone, so there's still a potential for Florida at this point, at least the southeast coast. Southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet for boaters tomorrow, and a light chop out there. There's the water temperature at 87 degrees. A low tide upcoming, and the forecast is calling for isolated thunderstorms this evening, otherwise partly cloudy skies. The extended forecast shapes up like this. Rain chances at 40% Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll get some wraparound from the system. A little bit better chance on Monday and Tuesday, and then actually some drier air could be moving our way as a result of Matthew Wednesday through Friday. Back to you, Scott.
Okay, Bob, thank you. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, we're seeing some backup as you head southbound on both the Green and DeSoto bridges into Bradenton there, slow going at this hour. And the US 41 bypass at 8th Avenue North is partially blocked. That's also causing some delays in that area. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. Scientists say the first baby born from a controversial procedure. It's a new technique that combines the DNA from 3 people, the mother, the father, and an egg donor. The goal was to prevent the child from inheriting a fatal genetic disease from his mother, who had previously lost 2 children to the illness. The mother, who is Jordanian, carries DNA that could have given her child Lee syndrome. Her 2 previous children died of the disease at 8 months and 6 years old. This process is not approved in the U.S., and there are ethical dilemmas. The procedure was performed in Mexico by a doctor from the New Hope Fertility Center in New York. He says to save lives, this is the ethical thing to do, but not everyone agrees. The FDA has approved the first artificial pancreas device for people with type 1 diabetes in the United States. It monitors a person's blood sugar levels and automatically provides insulin if needed. The device is Medtronic, and it's called the MiniMed 670G. It measures a person's blood sugar levels every 5 minutes and provides more insulin or withholds it. The device is approved for people ages 14 and older with type 1 diabetes and is attached to the person's body. People using the device will still have to manually request more insulin after they eat. Could the cure for passing kidney stones be a trip to Disney and a few roller coaster rides? Urological surgeon David Werdinger thinks so, because that's exactly how some of his patients pass their stones after riding Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom. So he headed to Orlando for an experiment. He and his colleague rode the ride many times with an artificial kidney, some urine, and stones. The stones passed almost 64% of the time when they rode with the kidney in the back of the car, and about 17% in the front, probably because you don't whip around as much in the front car. Dr. Werdinger says that riding roller coasters could be a hospital bill-free way for people with kidney stones smaller than 5 millimeters to pass them. Very interesting. Coming up next on your Suncoast News, a midday scare for parkgoers at Universal Studios, why several rides had to evacuate, speaking of rides. And get ready for an overload of cuteness, the panda baby boom that is moving the species off the endangered list.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology.
And focus on the Suncoast.
The official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Manasota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Manasota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Manasota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Manasota Flooring today.
An important message for Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you receiving all the benefits available to you? Do you know there is money available to lower your Medicare prescription costs? Now's the time to find the coverage that's right for you at the right price. The way to do that is to explore your options. You can spend hours doing that yourself, or you can call Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you with no cost or obligation. We'll search a variety of plans from nationally recognized companies to find the coverage that's the best fit for you at a price that fits your budget, and we'll do it at no charge to you. Plus, you may be able to save money on prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge.
Call the number on the screen now to make sure you're getting all the benefits you deserve. Don't wait. Call now.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
It was a rough night for riders at an amusement park in Massachusetts.
The Big E, better known as the Wipeout, stalled mid-ride, leaving some riders stuck for 2 hours last night. Fortunately, no one was hurt. The ride stalling was scarier for the parents who had their kids on that ride.
Then I got off and they left all of the adults that were on the bottom on because it was unstable, so they wanted the weight to stay on the bottom.
Crews were able to get everybody off the ride safely back on the ground. It's not known yet what caused the malfunction. Here in Florida, power was out for more than an hour and a half at Universal Studios in Orlando. Those who were riding the Men in Black and Transformers rides were forced to evacuate. Other guests were sent next door to the Islands of Adventure Park, which never lost power. No one was hurt, and the cause of that outage still unknown.
Also in Central Florida, a dozen cyclists take this video of at least 50 gators crowding a pond. Spotted one of the group during the cyclists on a 34-mile trail in Apopka. One woman says she has always been fascinated with gators and took her airboat on the lake to see them closer. Florida Fish and Wildlife are looking into why there is such a high concentration of gators in this specific area.
We'll just call this one Pandemonium. 23 baby pandas are making their debut to the world at a Chinese breeding center. They range from 1 to 4 months old, and every one of them is so cute. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
The 23 babies are almost double the number of newborns that were produced last year. The species is now classified as vulnerable instead of endangered. Over the past 30 years, this center has bred 176 giant pandas.
Don't you just want to go take a nap with all of them?
I just want to work there and be able to care for them. Wouldn't that be fun?
No kidding.
Oh, man.
You would just be happy all day long looking at all this fluff.
Yep.
And they're all so sleepy. Very cute. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a golf tournament with a great cause.
Golfers who are visually impaired do the unthinkable and overcome all the odds against them.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
It's all about fitness and health to start a new month and week. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we'll hear from a group of mountain climbers about their inspiration and journey. Plus, we get a fitness lesson to find out how they got in shape. Dr. Jenny from Age Vital is back to tell us how to fight our allergies without prescription meds. And Ruth's Chris Steakhouse joins us in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month, complimentary maintenance included. at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.